Do you think that there's a certain age that people should start having sex at?
Whoa, this is a lot of question. Child.
Hey, how you doing? How your mama been? How your daddy been? He been great? All right, good. Good. I'm glad.
Introduce yourself, child.
Oh,
Because I feel like you're going to introduce yourself first, right?
okay. Hello, my name is Jazelle, and I go by Jazelle.
And I am Rikita Michelle, and welcome to our podcast. Who are you talking to?
I do not like that. Stop doing that.
What you want me to say?
You just say it regularly.
I don't want to say
There's
welcome to our podcast. Who you talking to? That sounds so whack and lame and
So,
And welcome to our podcast. Who you talking to? You got to put some emphasis on the name. I just got to figure out I just got to figure out the emphasis.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
I guess.
So start over, girl.
Hey, my name is Ashley Jazelle, and I go by Jazelle.
And my name is Rikita Michelle, and welcome to our podcast. Who you talking to? So yeah, how you doing?
I'm doing fine. How are you?
I'm good. How your mama doing?
She's sitting in front of me, so.
Oh, okay, sister, brother, all day, all right?
Yeah.
All right. So how's your week been? What you been doing this week? This past week?
This past week I haven't been really doing anything other than like schoolwork. There was a crazy track meet
Yeah, that's a big deal.
that I had. We had to leave at like 11 a.m. It was on Friday, so we had to leave school early at 11 a.m. And then the bus broke down, so we were late to the track meet. We came in the middle of the track meet and still booked their tail. And we're like best in the state and ranked nationally. So yeah, we're doing our big one. We doing our things around here.
How did you do personally in the meet?
High jump, I just did okay. I just did normal. But for a triple jump, I did PR. Got a new PR in triple jump. So yeah.
But even though you did,
Excuse my voice, I lost it during the track meet. And we were there for hours. We probably left at like late 11 going on 12, and we didn't get it back until like 2. Because it was not
2
in our
a.m.
Yeah, 2 a.m. It was not in our city at all. It was on the other side of the state.
Yeah. So I think you did good considering that y'all came in the middle of the track.
We came in the middle of track meet. We didn't do no warm-ups, no nothing. We just walked in and ran and jumped and throw.
Yeah. So considering that, I feel like you did very well in high jump and triple jump. She placed in both of those sports.
Yeah. Both
of those categories. She PR'd in triple jump, and then high jump was her first event after she first got there, and so it was like, you know, like she said, they didn't have a chance to warm up anything. So even though she placed, you know, it probably wasn't her best because she didn't have time to warm up. It was just kind of like on the spot. But she still did good regardless. So they let you know that she's the GOAT, period.
That's the region, you know, doing our big things out here.
Okay, well, yeah. So anything else about your week?
Yeah, my therapist, I don't like her. She's just iffy. Like, she's just so weird. I don't like. It's just something about the vibe.
So it's a new lady, right? That you're trying to fill out.
Yeah.
Okay.
I got a new therapist, and I'm trying to will they smooth out the kinks?
Yeah.
Whatever they be saying. And it's not going so well. We've only had 2 sessions, but still, like, the vibe is not vibing. She just She just be like trying to put words into my mouth, and she talks too much, and I barely like her voice. So
yeah. Yeah, you know, that kind of is difficult for me because I know how difficult it is to find a black woman therapist, which is what she desires, right? She wants to have a black woman therapist, but to find there's plenty of black woman therapists out there, but to find a black woman therapist that my insurance covers is a whole other thing. And so, yeah, we're working through it. You know what I'm saying? Might have to find a way to pivot. So you don't like your new therapist? Okay.
no.
It's not going well.
No.
What else? Anything else this week?
No. I think that's pretty much it. The track meet and my therapist. Yeah, that track meet was crazy. There will never be another one like it. We were there for so long. So long.
Yeah, that was crazy. That track meet was actually supposed to be on a Saturday. And because of the weather that was projected for Saturday, they moved it to the Friday. And then on Friday, obviously, well, not obviously because I wasn't able to make it. I had already took that Friday off, even though normally I would work on a Friday because they left in the middle of the day. They were gone, but I took that Friday off because I had other obligations, being that I had a partner with a birthday that was on that day, and we had plans and stuff. So yeah, I was still not able to make her track meet, which kind of sucked because I was looking forward to that one. But they still did well. They won the track meet above.
Bro, we whooped their butt. We whooped their butt real bad.
Y'all won by a lot.
I know they was mad.
They won by a lot of points. I think y'all school got
70 points.
Yeah, y'all school got 163 points, and I believe the next place, second place, I think they got 90 something or 80 something points. So it was by a lot. So yeah, congratulations to y'all. Y'all did y'all thing.
We are 3 for 3 as far as invitationals go, and as far as the whole season, we've never lost a meet. So yeah, we're eating it up. We're eating the girls up. Now we're just waiting for the all girls meet and conference, and we've been winning conference for about a decade now. So don't plan to lose it. Don't plan to lose that streak.
Yeah. But for my week, what did I do this week? Let's see.
Talk about what you did on Friday. I was at a track meet, but you was doing stuff too.
Yeah, so my week is per usual. I worked primarily from home. Thursday, I did go into the office. They're trying to get us to come back into the office on a regular basis. I am not really, I don't know how I feel about that. Like the rules don't necessarily apply to me as they apply to like some of the other people in the office. But, I see the point of using the office space because we just moved into a new office space and they want us to utilize it, right? And so I do try to go in to, show my face and what have you. So I went into the office on Thursday. And that was, was cool. They provided us lunch. The lunch was...
The lunch was not lunching.
It was trash, to be honest with you. Yeah, it was trash. It was barbecue, from what they said. And, I'm from Memphis, so...
We're from Memphis.
Anyway, so yeah, it just wasn't giving. It wasn't. If you're trying to persuade me to come back into your office with catered lunches, they have to be good. You see, that's how that works. The food has to be appetizing in order for me to be like, you know what? I'll go into the office for that. But that's not what it was giving. It was giving grease, unseasoned, dry. So So there's that. But it's the first time. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna give them a couple more tries. Maybe got to work the kinks out, as she said earlier. Yeah. So hopefully next time will be a better experience with the option choice for lunch. But so that's how that's going. On Friday, it's my partner's birthday. And so we went out to, we had a whole day planned that morning. We went out and got our manis and petties done. And then after that, we went, I had a wax appointment that had nothing to do with him, but a girl's got to do what she's got to do. Okay. I had a wax appointment. So we went to my wax appointment and then we went to have lunch. And of course we had started drinking because at the nail salon, we had drinks or wine, they give you the complimentary wine or whatever. So we had wine at the nail appointment. And then at lunch, we had more drinks. So after that, we were kind of like, okay, we need a break. We're getting to the age of going all day is not a thing. So we came back home, we chilled out, and, I gave him his gift or whatever, and we chilled until later that night. We went and had dinner at Eddie V's, and I think, we had drinks after. After we left Eddie V's, we went to go have drinks in hookah after, which was it's a very stark difference between Eddie V's and the establishment we went to after. But good times were had, at both places. So yeah, it was a good time.
Yeah, we both definitely had quite eventful days on that Friday.
Yeah, and by the time I was on my way home from the drink and hookah spot, she was on her way home from the track meet. And I was going to try to pick her up from the track meet, or from the school on the way back, but it was a whole lot. It was a whole lot going on. I wasn't feeling the best because I think the hookah kind of made me nauseous. Sometimes hookah makes me nauseous sometimes, which that's probably a sign I need to stop. Give it a rest. So yeah, so I was like, I'm going home. And I had my sister, who thankfully and so graciously was able to pick her up and bring her home. So yeah.
Yeah, but good home at 3 a.m. So that's great.
But good week. Good week, I'd say.
And then when I came to the door, somebody
took
about 15 minutes to open the door.
I was sick, as you just heard, about to puke my brains out. Okay, first of all. Second of all, we can talk about this because Tamika, I got a phone call from Tamika. I was in my bed half asleep, and Tamika called me on the phone. Tamika's my sister. Called me on the phone, was like, Ashley's standing at the front door. I'm like, oh, okay. Does she not have her key? She was like, yeah, but I think the other lock's locked. I was like, oh, okay. And I'm thinking to myself, why didn't she ring the doorbell?
I did 4 times.
You did not ring the doorbell.
We can go back and check the history. We can go back and check the history. I said, ding dong. Ding dong.
Why didn't you call?
Why? Because I thought it was just going to take a long time for you to come to the door. So I just decided to wait. And then I heard Tamika calling you. So then she was on the phone with you. So I didn't call you.
I ain't heard no doorbell. If she run a doorbell.
No. Oh my God.
If she run the doorbell, that's what she say. Okay, that's cool.
I don't know how y'all didn't hear the doorbell.
I ain't hear no doorbell. Now doorbell. All I heard was my...
Can you not hear it in your room anymore? Because your speaker not working, right?
Right. The speaker's not working, so I would hear it.
Was your door closed?
I don't know. I don't remember. All I know is I ain't hear no doorbell.
I definitely rang the doorbell a few times.
Never heard it.
And nobody came to that door.
And all I heard my phone ringing, and I'm like, hello? She was like, Ashley at the door. I'm like, okay. First of all, I was thinking, why she didn't ring the doorbell? And then second of all, why didn't Ashley call me? Why are you calling me? And then Tamika was on the phone. She was like, yeah, I don't know why she didn't call you. She's just standing there looking like she's a zombie. And she was like, so I figured I'd call you because she's not calling you. And I was like, oh, okay. So then I got up and opened the door for you. And then, of course, you act like you had a little attitude when I opened the door, but I'm like, yeah.
I didn't have attitude. I was tired. I just came off the bus, half sleep. By the way, the whole team was tired. Nobody had attitude. I was trying to take a shower and get in the bed.
You took a shower when you got home?
Outside. Yeah.
Yeah, psychopath. Yeah.
How am I a psychopath? They're taking a shower when I get home. I'm not finna get in there smelling like outside.
Well, I guess, but I mean, if like, let's be honest, right? I have to be honest, and I might be getting on my B Simone tip right now because she said she don't take a shower every day. But my thing is like,
she don't what?
She went viral on her podcast saying that she don't shower every day. But I feel like people was coming for her unnecessarily.
Then what does she do?
She might not shower every day.
No.
And that no. I feel like because you're the kind of person who's super regimented.
Yeah.
Like you have a regimen and you stick to it. No matter what.
Capricorn things.
Even if you come home at 2 a.m. in the morning. See, that's not me. And I feel like I understand my B. Simone's sister because she's an Aries and so am I. And so, like, if I come home at 3, like, of course, I want to be clean when I get in my bed. But there are certain extenuating circumstances that will prevent that from happening. If I come in home at 3 a.m. and it's been a tired day and I didn't plan on being out all day, am I going to jump into my shower? Absolutely not. I'm going to get in the bed, you know what I'm saying? And the next day, maybe my sheets need to be washed and that's okay. But like, you know, like, no, if I'm too tired and exhausted from getting into the shower, I'm not going to force myself to get into the shower. I'm going to go to sleep and then get in the shower the next day.
Yeah, I definitely got in there and took that shower. For sure, got nice and clean, rubber scrubbed up.
Well, good on you.
Yeah.
Good on you.
And I take cold showers, which she comes for me for. I don't know why. Cold showers is great for you. They're amazing. I do recommend
Great for what? They're not great for my soul and spirit because, baby, no ma'am.
They're literally good for you. They're good for your body.
How so? Not for my soul and spirit.
They're good for your metabolism.
That's what I'm saying.
They're good for your metabolism. That's one. Mm-hmm. They're good for your skin. And they're good for stress. And I think there's some more in there, but that's all that can come.
I feel like the hot water, like, it's good for my stress because, like, the hot water in your body is like, ooh, it's like relaxing.
Yeah, there's pros to both hot and cold water, but I just like taking cold showers. There's a whole story behind me starting taking cold showers, but that's for another time.
Yes. Anywho, that's how our weekend went. With that, you getting home at 3 a.m. in the morning story, child. She got in the house eventually. And so let's move on to the discussion topic. We're going to talk about today, right?
Okay.
So what we wanted to talk about today was like, this is going to be a major shift. It's like super serious compared to what we were just talking about. But like, when's the right time to have a baby or to have a child? Is there a right time to have a child, right? There's been much talk on the interwebs, if you will, about like when's the right time to have a child, for a woman and for a man. And these are two totally different conversations because obviously, women have different things different circumstances and things, yes, to consider. Right. So when's the perfect time to have a child? Like, is having children necessary? Like, if a person feels like they're not ready to have a child, should they just not? Because, I feel as personally that most people who had children were not ready when they got pregnant, but they had to get ready or they was going to fuck around and find out. Right. So it's like, yeah. So what's your thoughts like about?
I don't think anyone's ever like ready. I don't think ready is the right word, right? I don't think like people should have kids. Like, I think people should have kids whenever they want to, regardless like if they're ready or not. Because you can want to have kids and not be ready, right? I don't think anybody's necessarily ready to have a kid. I don't think you're ever ready to have a kid. I don't think you can ever, there's no way to prepare yourself for a child because there's only one of your child and that one of your child has not been of this earth yet. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I agree with that partially, right? Because yes, there are certain aspects of parenthood that you just will not know how to deal with until you encounter it, right?
Yeah.
There's no way to know every single thing that you need to know about parenthood before you become a parent. It's just not a thing. You know, some of the stuff is just like on a job training type of stuff. But they're like maturity level wise, right? Like, because, you know, you're for 16 years old, you're pretty mature, right?
Yeah.
But like some people in their 20s, even in their early 30s, maybe, and up, to be honest, are not super mature. So is that to say that they shouldn't have children because they're not mature, or maybe they're super selfish? It's kind of a delicate balance, because I know people that were like that before they had kids, but then the kids totally changed them and helped them to mature. But on the other hand, I know people who were super immature before they had kids, and then they stayed immature, regardless if they had kids or not. So it's kind of like, how do you know the outcome, right? And how do you choose to have kids or not, or is that even important?
That's a good question. I don't know. I guess you'll never really know until the kids come. I know that some people don't have the resources to take care of their kids and stuff like that. It can all be based on like different factors, like whether that's their environment or like their finances, or like what they're going through in their household or anything like that. So I guess it just depends on those type of things, whether you're ready to have a child or not.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like all of these things are super nuanced, right?
Yeah.
Do you know what nuance means?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I feel like all of these like decisions, like super important life decisions and stuff, are super nuanced. And a lot of these social media conversations and hot takes that are happening don't include the nuance of it all, because there's no way it can. If you include all of the nuances, you'll be talking for hours on end.
Yeah.
There's no way to include all the nuances that comes into whether or not you should have a child. And then who are we to say? Who are me? I only have control over what happens with me. Am I ready to have a child? And then I can make that decision. But that brings me to another point that I just popped up in my head, right? So between mothers and fathers, right? I've heard fathers have a problem because they don't have control over whether their child is born or not, but the woman does, right? How do you feel about that? Because some fathers feel as though, like, if I want my child to be here, regardless if you want to have the child or not, like, I should be able to have my child, just like, you know, and maybe be a single father, just like there are single mothers. And then vice versa. Sometimes they might feel, you know, if I'm not ready to be a father, you shouldn't force me to be. So what do you think about that?
I mean, I don't think they're right. I think they're wrong.
Okay.
First, because I mean, I don't know why they feel like they don't have a choice, or like they don't have a say in whether the child is born or not, because you do. How? You get in that bed and put the condom on, that's when it was your choice. That's when they could have decided whether or not the baby was born or not, right? But once it gets past that point, there's no turning back. So I feel like that's their decision time, right? And whenever the baby's in the woman's stomach, that's her decision time.
Okay. Yeah, I feel like that's a super difficult like conversation, because I know a lot of men where this is a super sensitive topic, right? Because they were found themselves.
I kind of get where they're coming from, though. I can see.
You can see like being in a predicament where you want a child and she doesn't. She gets rid of your child. And then even in the vice versa, where you don't feel like you're ready to be a father, but she's ready to be a mother. And like now you just have to, because she made that decision.
If the girl didn't want a kid, then like she should have let that be known to the man.
Before getting pregnant, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, but a lot of times that's the case. You know what I'm saying? A lot of pregnancies, are not planned.
Right.
It's just like a heat of the moment type situation. You know what I'm saying? Hormones, it's a whole thing. And so, yeah, a lot of situations are not planned, which is why, like, and even I had to learn the hard way. Like, there's certain things you have to learn the hard way that I feel like we need to teach our children, which is, especially for women, because I feel like men are taught certain things when it comes to not having kids. Like, they'll tell boys, strap up, don't have no kids if you're not ready, like, right? But for women, what they tell us is to close our legs,
right,
which is not realistic. They tell little boys or young men to, have all the sex you want,
but just make sure she doesn't get pregnant.
Exactly. Strap up so she don't get pregnant, you don't get any diseases, whatever. So, and then they tell the girls, close your legs, don't have sex, which is very unrealistic because who do you think all the boys are having sex with?
Right.
They're having sex with the girls.
Right.
It's not realistic. And so, so they need to teach girls from a young age of how to protect your fertility.
Yeah, safe sex.
Yes, safe sex.
Not just safe sex, though. They don't need to just teach, like, the sex part. They also need to teach who you should have sex with, like the type of things that you should look for in a person. Whether,
especially if you're gonna have a kid with them.
Yeah. Whether they're worth your body. Did I say that right? Whether they're worth,
if they're worth having your body or gaining access to your body, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah. Whether they earn that or not. I think people should learn what like a healthy relationship looks like and all that too.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. For sure. Yes. And a lot of that would probably require therapy. But in the meantime, until we all get our healing and therapy, I feel as though like learning to protect your fertility as girls should be taught from as a very young age, because a lot of us find ourselves in these situations with kids by men who ain't shit. Dealing with stuff we shouldn't have to deal with. Kids at a very young age, you know what I'm saying? We should be taught to protect our fertility until you come across someone who's worthy of, not only, like you said, somebody who's worthy of gaining access to your body, but who's worthy of having their seed grow inside your body. Like, that is major. Right? And you shouldn't just be handing that out to any Joe Schmo. Sexual liberation, all power to you. Yes, have the sex. You cannot prevent kids. And when I say kids, I'm talking about like 16 plus, right? And when you think about when most of us started exploring sexuality, it was not 18, 21, most of us, right? So like you have to teach at an early stage for these kids to it's normal and natural to have sexual desires, but at the same time, protect your fertility. Like, who you choose to have kids with is one of the most important choices you would ever make. I wish somebody would have told me that, because I didn't hear this until I was probably in my 30s, to like that who you choose to have kids with is one of the most important decisions you will ever make in your life. I never heard that. Like, I didn't know that was like that. I didn't know that the importance needs to be there behind that. I know now. But even who you choose to partner with, because of course, if you partner with somebody, there's a chance you may become pregnant, even if you take all the precautions. There's a situation you take all the precautions and still get pregnant. And so it's like, yes, like all of those decisions are super, super important. Even who you choose to be friends with, who you choose to be in your circle. Like, I wish I had somebody to tell me that those choices are like some of the most important decisions you will make in your life. But you live and you learn. So, yeah.
Do you think that there's a certain age that people should start having sex at?
Whoa, this is a lot of question. Child. I full transparency, right? I lost my virginity at 16, right?
Okay.
To who? It's none of your business. It's none of your business. But yeah, 16. You know what I'm saying? It's hard to say, man, because I be hearing about kids in middle school having sex, and I'm flabbergasted every single time. It's a flabbergasted situation.
Yeah.
I don't. What's the correct age to start having sex? I would have to say 15, 16.
15, 16?
Yeah.
Personally, I mean, at this point, you can't really put an age on.
You can't put one, but should you?
No.
Right?
I feel like instead of trying to say, I feel like instead of like making sex taboo for certain ages, because I mean, it's not like avoidable, like it's still gonna happen, right? At a young age. So I feel like what you should do is just like teach them, like we were saying before, how to have safe sex and stuff like that, right? So we know we can't prevent it from happening.
Okay.
We can just prevent it from ending up being something that's like can change you for the rest of your life, like having a baby or getting pregnant
or
getting an STD,
disease.
Yeah, stuff like that. So we need to teach kids that these things exist and they should be avoided, right? It's not unicorn and rainbows out here. With that being said, what do you think about like, because I know parents have an issue with like sex ed being taught in like in school and stuff. Like, what do you think about that?
I was always for it, you know. I don't mind it at all. I remember even when you were in elementary school, like they sent something home because they were going to start doing sex ed, and then you could, as a parent, you could opt out. You could have your child opt out of, you know, whatever the sex ed course was. But I was always for you being like hearing that kind of education and conversations and stuff, because like even though sometimes me and you would talk about stuff, I'm totally aware that I don't know everything when it comes to everything. I haven't experienced all things, right? And so you learning from somebody else was not completely off the table for me. And so, and I also knew that the importance of starting at an early age with teaching kids about the ins and outs of sex and all of that. And I knew that like I felt that you and I had like a close enough relationship that if you heard something in that class or whatever that you had questions about, you would come and ask me, you know, and then we can have a conversation about it. So I was all for it. I know some parents, like you said, don't want their kids to be hearing or talking about that from anybody else at school and stuff, and you know.
Yeah, I know that my dad had a big problem with like sex ed being taught in schools. I mean, I'm on the same page that you are. I'm not against it. I don't understand why other people are against it, or like why my dad is against it. And you can't avoid it, because you're not going to avoid it from happening. So why not
educate?
Yeah,
I don't know what it is. And I feel like specifically with girls, like especially we live in the South. So
right.
There's a religious aspect that goes along with like hiding sexual things. And then there's also like, especially with girls, like daddies protecting their girls from things that are going to happen anyway. Like regardless of how much you protect your daughter from sexual things, it's going to happen. And so, it's just like I don't know. There's several layers to why those talks are super taboo. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, but I feel like it's necessary. I do. I feel like it's necessary, but I feel like it's even more necessary that you have the talks at home, because a lot of the parents that want to restrict their kids from hearing about it at school also don't talk to their kids about it at home.
You're right.
So where you gonna learn about it from? Where like for me, I didn't learn about it at school or at home. I had a health class. They called it health class in like 7th grade, which was very vague and obscure.
Brief.
It was like half of the school year in the 7th grade. That was the only class I ever had. And like, yeah, that was it. My mother never talked to me about sex at all. And so it was like a trial and error for me. I had to learn along the way. And there's a lot of things that I encountered that it would have been better for me if I feel like I had someone with experience to have conversations with about it beforehand. But like learning on the spot, like learning on the go with sex ed or learning sex on the go can be dangerous.
Yeah, it can, because
It can be
a lot of
dangerous.
mistakes can happen.
Life-changing mistakes can happen. Yes, life-changing mistakes can happen. And so like it's like certain important things about that, about like sex and how to protect yourself from certain things and how to maneuver in life when it comes to sex. I feel like should be talked about. And like even like your parents don't, like, for instance, I don't know everything. I haven't had all the experiences when it comes to sex, but I've had,
More
enough.
than your child.
Yeah, I've had enough where I can bestow my wisdom onto a child that's coming up and try to guide them along the way, right? And the goal is to have them not to be as hard for your child as it was for you.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I think parents should just try to keep the innocence of their child for as long as they can. When it's not realistic. They're gonna have sex some point in their life. So
yeah, they're gonna have sex. Keeping the innocence of a child, that's
it's a big topic.
It is. And if that's important, you don't think it's important?
I mean, I'm a pessimistic person, so I mean,
okay.
I don't know if innocence is that important. Is that important? But I don't know. I might just have a different mindset. Like, I guess if I was to put myself in like a little kid's shoes, then obviously I wouldn't like want my innocence to be ruined. Right? I feel like okay. I feel like it should be a process, like slowly but surely. Like let your child know and reassure your child that the world is not unicorns and rainbows.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Because I feel like there's a balance, as is with all things in life. Raising a child requires balance, right? If you go an extreme in either way, I think it's not good. Right.
Yeah.
If you let your child live as an adult at 5 years old on, obviously that's not good. And then in the other way, if you have your child in a bubble until they become an adult, that's not good as well either. Right. So there's a balance with protecting your child from like the world's harms, but at the same time letting them know that giving them the tools and like the wisdom, but also you have to let go of the reins. You have to.
Right.
You have to let your kids go sometimes so they can experience the world on their own, get bumped up a little bit, and get some experiences. And then that will help them navigate the world as well. Because if you keep your kids in a bubble for a very long time and then they get out into the real world and see what it's really like, no bueno.
Yeah.
No bueno. So yeah, it's a delicate balance. And let me tell you, there's few times that that parents, I think, get it 100% right. I'm not even saying that I've got it 100% right, but I think knowing the I guess knowing that exists, that balance exists, and trying to get it correct. It's all that you can do, right? It's like
all you can do is do your best.
Yeah.
And I saw somewhere, I forgot where it was, but I saw somewhere, no, it wasn't anywhere on the internet. It was in person when we had the meeting at Starbucks. One of the ladies that was with us, she said a parent can do their best and it still might not even be enough for the child.
That's true.
That's true. Crazy.
That's true.
That's crazy. I never thought about it like that until she said that.
Well, I'm glad that you were here. You were there to hear that, because that is so extremely true. A lot of parents do their best, but what is their best? Each person's individual best is different, right? Depending on the circumstances that they came up with and the traumas that they're dealing with through their whole life. So like a parent doing their best still might not be good enough for their child. Each child is different. Just because each parent is different as well, they have their own traumas and history that they're dealing with. Then they have a child, right? The child is its own individual person, and because a parent tries its best to foster their child, it's like you said, it still might not be enough.
Yeah.
And that is something to reckon with. That's a lot of parents have to reckon with that after their kids become grown and they feel like they did their best, but their kids still might have some grievances and say, you did this, you didn't. They might like have some issues with the way they were parented, right? And so I hear this a lot with grown kids and their parents where grown kids try to like approach their parents with like something that happened in the past that they were, weren't unhappy with. And the parents like, like you turned out fine, didn't you? Like, that whole situation, that whole train of thought. But it's like, yeah, but did I really? Because I might need therapy because of how, you know what I'm saying?
Everybody needs therapy.
Everybody needs therapy. First of all, let's start there.
Yeah.
Everybody, including you. No.
Yeah.
No, yeah, everybody needs therapy. And all parents fuck up their kids. This is something I'm talking to other parents about a lot too. And we're gonna move on to the next segment in a minute. But let me say this. I was talking to other parents about like how all parents traumatize their kids.
Yeah.
All parents do.
Yeah.
Which is really, as a parent,
in one way or another.
Yes.
It's gonna happen.
Yes. As a parent, it's really hard for me to even say that and grasp it. Cause I'm like, I didn't traumatize my kid. I feel like I'm the best mother ever. But, nobody's perfect, including parents. Just because you have a kid and you feel like you know the best way to raise them doesn't mean that that's true, right? Like, I feel like all parents traumatize their kids, but I feel like it's up to parents. I feel like the correct position to have as a parent that traumatizes your kids, which is all of us, is to listen to your kids when they become adults and have their grievances to say about like how they were raised. Listen to them, hear them, apologize. A lot of parents, especially Black ones, have problems apologizing to their kids.
They got a special way of showing it.
So apologize to your kids if it's necessary, say that you're sorry, express that you did the best that you could, but maybe that wasn't enough, and see how you can move forward from there. But, that's just kind of like a thing.
What's that book that you said? Adult children of emotionally immature parents. Yes.
Should
give it a read.
Yes. Let's see. Adult children. Let me get the Adult children of emotionally immature parents. How to heal from distant, rejecting, or self-involved parents.
Yep.
And so the author is Lindsay Gibson. So yes, that book was actually life-changing for me. I started reading that book after my mother passed away. She passed away in 2015, and I started reading that book. And even though I love my mother to death, and felt like she did her best, but reading that book was eye-opening. life-changing. So, yes.
Yep.
Great book. Okay, on to the next. What's
Next
up?
segment. Beep. Hey, how you doing?
So we're going to talk about what you watching.
Okay.
So what have you been watching lately? I know you was talking about this fight that you wanted me to pay for that I never was going to.
So
So
yeah, the Ryan Garcia.
what was that?
What was that? Oh, just fell. So Ryan Garcia versus Gervonta Davis. That fight, I was really interested to see how that fight was going to go because Ryan is known for his speed work and all of that. And Tank, people call him Tank, is known for his like timing and power and stuff like that. So like I guess in this fight we were just going to see which one mattered the most. So and I guess it showed because Tank won the fight by TKO, I think that's, yeah, he won it by TKO.
In the 7th round was it? I think I saw. Was it the 7th round?
I don't know which round it was. Let me see.
I only saw one post about it, child, because I don't know much about this fight, but she's the one who brought it to my attention. And she was like, Mom, can we let's watch this fight tomorrow. And I'm like, what fight? She told me. I was like, okay. I already know that most fights, you got to pay a hefty penny to watch it at home. So I'm like, I don't know if we're going to be able to watch that one, baby, because them pay-per-view prices.
Yep, 7th round knockout.
7th round.
Yeah, he hit Garcia with that liver shot and it was over. He took a knee.
Yep, I saw that clip because Gervonta was like coming after him and he was like,
no, sorry. He took that shot right here. He said, nope. Yeah, that was crazy. I don't think anybody was expecting that. I was expecting the whole fight to go all the way through. For me, I'm glad I ain't put no bets on that fight because.
So what? You would have bet on the other guy?
I think so. I think I would have bet on Ryan Garcia because I know more about him than I do Tank. I know more about Ryan Garcia's skill. All I knew about Tank is that he was really powerful with his punches. That's all I knew. So yeah, I think I would have bet on Ryan Garcia.
Yeah, I would have bet. I don't know anything about boxing. Nothing. I would have bet on Gervonta because he's black.
She's always going for everybody black. She always
I'm
goes
rooting for
black
everybody black. Always. I'm rooting for everybody black.
Yeah.
So are they even in the same weight class? Because they don't look like it.
Yeah, they both weigh 135.
Really?
Yeah,
Gervonta looks more muscular.
They have a weigh-in.
Well, I know that. But I'm just saying, looking at them, Gervonta looks way more muscular than the other guy. Like
Gervonta is shorter.
Oh.
And he's shorter and wider. I guess that what makes him look wider. And Ryan is taller and
slimmer. Oh.
But they both weigh the same, so.
Well.
Yeah. Gervonta won. You won that. You did your thing on that one. You did your big one. Okay, what about you?
What I watched?
Yeah, what
I watched this week? So the Whitney Houston movie.
She's really going crazy about this movie
because it was really good. And let me tell you, I was just. First of all, this movie came out last year, and I remember hearing rumblings about this movie. And I saw the trailer, and I saw the actress that's playing Whitney Houston, and I had my skepticism antennas were up, right? Because, first of all, I don't believe the actress looks anything like Whitney. But with that being said, I don't feel like an actor or actress needs to look like the person in order to do a good job, obviously, because hello, Tina Turner and Angela Bassett, Like Angela Bassett looks nothing like Tina Turner, obviously, but she did a damn good job in that role. And also for Lawrence Fishburne, looks nothing like Ike Turner. Anyway, but that movie is a classic, right? So I'm like, okay, I tried to get out of my mind that this lady doesn't really look like Whitney Houston to me. But then with the trailer, I was just like, I wasn't feeling it. I wasn't getting it in my shundo.
The trailer definitely was not trailering at all.
It wasn't getting in my shundo. I feel like they could have did a better job with that trailer. But so I don't remember if it came out in theaters. I'm assuming it did, but maybe didn't do that well. I'm not sure how it first came out, like what platform it first came out on, but I saw it on my Netflix and I was like, okay, it's on Netflix. Let me watch what's going on. And so I pressed play and it was really good. Like, I feel like that actress, even though she doesn't look like Whitney Houston, I feel like her speaking voice and her mannerisms and stuff embody Whitney Houston. I really do think she did a really good job with that. The costuming, except for that first wig. That first wig that y'all had my girl Whitney in. No, ma'am, no, sir. What is it for? We need to get some better short hair first wigs for, or short hair like wig situations for black girls, because it just was not giving. But other than that, first wig that was atrocious.
This one?
No, it was her early move. It was like a very, very short like fro situation they were trying to do.
Okay. Oh, they did eat this up.
And so yes, the costuming, the performing, the lip syncing. Awesome. Do you hear me? The acting, the way she had Whitney's speaking voice down. Yes, ma'am. What's her name? Please, I want to say her name, the actress that played her.
Naomi Ackie.
Naomi Ackie. You did your thing, girl.
If that's how you pronounce it. Sorry. Naomi Ackie.
Naomi Ackie, yes. If that's not the way you pronounce it, please excuse us. But baby, she did her thing. I feel like she did.
Bobby Brown was played by Ashton Sanders.
He was, yeah. Naomi did her thing. Speaking voice on point, mannerisms on point. Whoever did wardrobe and styling and wigs, except for that first one. Y'all did y'all thing, like, and of course, you know, this was the one that Whitney's family approved of, so they were able to get all of the approvals for her music to be played in the movie and her actual voice, singing voice, to be in the movie. And so superb. And of course they did like full performances of like a lot of her performances that she did. The songs that they played, they did the full performance, and the lip syncing that Miss Naomi did, just chef's kiss. And I was thoroughly impressed. And I even liked the way that they kind of artfully dealt with Whitney's drug problem. Like, they didn't shy away from the negative parts of her life, right? Like her drug issues and like her depression issues and stuff, but they did it in an artful way where it wasn't like distasteful, I guess, you know? So I really love the way they did it. Even when talking about her relationship with her and Robin, how they did that from the beginning with her dating Robin in their college years, and how they decided to split ways but still remain best friends. Which, do y'all believe that?
No. Whatever you about to say, no.
That they really was just best friends after, you know, they decided to split ways? I don't know. If I'm in love with somebody and then we just be like, oh, we can't be together, but I still want you to be my best friend, that's a little shaky to me. I don't
know. I guess some people are just mature like that. I don't know.
But we'll never know. I feel like only Whitney and Robin will know the truth behind that. But I feel like the way it was done was super, it was super true to her story. Like, they didn't try to hide any of it, but it was super, artful and just tasteful. It was superb. It was like 10 out of 10 for me. I loved it. And I'm trying to get her to watch it and she doesn't want to. She said it's too much singing because I was watching it in my room and she was in the living room and she was like, all I heard was singing the whole time. But yes, they do like
singing for hours.
It's like they do full renditions of the song, but it's part of the story and the way that they played it out. It was just beautiful. I loved it. So, you gonna watch it?
I don't know. I'll probably skip the singing parts if they go on for too long.
You should watch it. You should watch it. It's really good.
This is what she looks like now. So
that's Robin.
Yeah.
Per. Yeah, so that's it. I think that's it for what we watched lately, right?
Yep, that's it for what we watched.
Okay. So anything else you want to talk about for this week before we wrap it on up?
Nope. What about you? Oh, you should watch this show called Night Agent.
Night Agent?
Yeah.
It's good?
Yeah.
What is it about?
A night agent.
So, on that note,
it's about this man, and he was involved in a metro bombing, and he works for the FBI. Mm-hmm. And he was working on a case because someone that worked for the federal government got like murdered. So he was working on that, and then by the end of it, and he like saved the president and all that from assassination. So by the end of it, he became a night agent. The president recruited him to become a night agent.
Interesting.
Yep. It's 10 episodes, so it's not too long.
Okay. I have lots of things on my list that I need to watch. Maybe
What?
I don't know. We'll see what we'll talk about next as far as what we're watching. But just to wrap it on up, right? Wrap the episode up. Let's talk about just a little bit of angst, a little bit of an experience that we had at Popeyes.
Forgot about that. So
let's just talk about this experience we had with Popeyes, because baby, what is going on in the world with Popeyes?
So we come to Popeyes, right? I'm thinking I'm about to get some good chicken, some good biscuits, you know, like usual, the usual thing that Popeyes do. And we go to the drive-thru, we order our food, and then we hear the price.
Yeah, and
of the food.
And mind you, not our food, her food. I got her something to eat. All I got was a biscuit. I ordered an extra biscuit for myself and then some mashed potatoes on the side for myself. The majority of the food was for her. Okay.
Right.
And the price was what?
Almost $20.
Yes. What is happening?
It didn't make no sense.
What is going on?
So we pull up to the drive-thru and they give us my food. Right.
Oh, first of all, before you get there, go back to where we ordered the food. Uh-huh. And you were ordering the sides, right?
Yeah.
And they told you what?
They said they didn't have no fries. No fries at all. They was like, yeah, we out of fries. I said, well, then make some. To me, you out of fries. That don't make no sense.
Popeyes out of fries?
What?
What is going on? They were out of fries. So
no fries.
Whatever that means. So she decided to get what? Mac and cheese instead?
Yeah, which was, okay, it was just there. It wasn't all that.
Oh, child. So we drove around to the window.
Yeah, we drove around to the window and they gave me my food, but there is nothing there for her. There's nothing handed out there for her. So then we were like, where's that food? So they forgot 2 sides. They forgot all the
condiments and stuff.
Yeah, they forgot all the condiments. So we had to wait there for so long because they saw us sitting there at that window.
Yeah, because you know what I can't stand at a drive-thru? And maybe because I go to Chick-fil-A so much, I'm just used to superb customer service. But what I can't stand at a drive-thru is when they give you your food and then they shut the window and act like you're not there. Like, what if I need something else? You're standing right there. Hello, look this way. Hello, I'm still standing here. I'm still sitting here. I need something. That my mashed potatoes were missing. My extra biscuit was missing. We had no ranch dressing. We had no honey for our biscuits. Like, hello, what's going on? Right. So we sat there for a periodically long time.
And they were just sitting there kicking and having a whole conversation. Like, I know y'all see us in the corner of your eye. Be real. With yourself. Just be better. Do better.
Yes, and then the original person that was there at the window stayed there for a while without acknowledging us and then walked away. It was a total new person that came and was like, oh, can I help you out with something? Yes, actually, you can.
Yeah.
You can. You can help me by giving me the things that I ordered and the sauce that I asked for.
Yeah.
Like, what?
And then when we asked her for rent, she gave us one. One ranch.
Why is Popeyes, among other places, why is Popeyes so stingy with their sauce? This is another thing why Chick-fil-A will always be superb. They're never stingy. When you ask for the sauce, they give you enough. And then if you ask for more, they give it to you without an attitude or asking you to pay for it. Come on. Let's learn. Learn lessons. Let's keep up with the times. Ooh. Giving us one ranch for 3 huge strips.
Speaking of food, this is making me hungry.
Okay.
So
ready to wrap it up?
Yeah.
So anyway, that was our Popeye story.
Don't make no sense.
Our angst story of the week or something that we went through that we just wanted to rant about.
One more thing.
What?
When we were on the way to the track meet on Friday, we stopped and get something to eat, right? Tell me why the bus driver pulls up. So we passed by all these good places that we could have ate at, that everybody on the bus agreed to eat at. But he decided he wanted to park the bus in a Arby's parking lot. Who do you know eats Arby's? I'm surprised that establishment is even up to the day. It makes no sense. And my coach was laughing because nobody walked into the Arby's. Yeah, nobody eats there. Absolutely flabbergasted. Why would you do that? Go to an Arby's.
But yeah. But yeah, that was our week. And I hope you enjoyed this discussion that we had for our Who You Talking To podcast. And yeah, that's it. And we'll talk to you next time, right?
Yep. Deuces.
Peace. Oh, yeah. I hope it's still recording because that would be tragic. It is. So, okay. I feel like we're so close, so far apart.
So,
touch me. Me, my sister, never part.
Doesn't that how it goes?
Do you know how it goes?
Yeah, it's see, tap down first. Wait, I think I forgot. So you tap down. Then
it's something else. It's like something.
Let me look it up. Ready?
Okay, hold on, so again. Me, my sister, never part, not da da. Da da. Ain't no ocean, ain't no sea, not da da. Keep my sister away from me, not da da.
We ate that up.